I-12GIA, the voice of experience. You have myself, Instructor Fogg. You have the specialist up in the upper right corner, and the professor is down on the bottom. Nomad may or may not be with us tonight. We'll just have to kind of see. Interesting assortment of subjects tonight. I want to thank all of our sponsors before we get started here. Peace of Mind Training and I-12GIA. As usual, folks, this is an R bordering on X-rated show. We are designated as mature audiences only on YouTube. So if you're a child or anyone or an adult with delicate sensitivities, you may not want to be here because language gets a little salty, and so do the subjects. I think we're going to start with the professor tonight. He's got a whole interesting lineup of topics to do. Right, exactly like that. So go right ahead there, brother. Knock yourself out.
Good evening, gents. Glad to be here. Sam Adams just popped in the chat. What's going on, brother? Good to see you.
Sam.
Peace, Sam.
I would encourage folks that if you are on YouTube, where you're watching us or anywhere else, but if you're on YouTube, look up Samuel Adams. He just posted 2 videos today. One of them's called No One Takes You Seriously, and the other is Another Thing. So look him up. Some good information there. Love you, Sam.
Is that how he's on YouTube, on the Samuel Adams?
Yes. The problem is there's like a million Samuel Adams. So that's why I dropped the titles for that so they could find him. And he's got some really good.
How do I know where to look for him?
Annie, how's it going?
Hey, Annie, how are you?
I will send you one of his videos so you could see it. But I would just say type in Samuel Adams, and then the titles of the videos that he just posted is No One Takes You Seriously, and it's hysterical and it's awesome. So check it out. So I'd like to discuss the continued Democrat descent into madness. This week was funny to watch. And I'd also like to touch on the subject matter that I covered last week, was how the left loves to throw out the Nazi word, right? Well, that didn't stop this week. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker compares the Trump administration to Nazi Germany. Jeff, how's it going? Good to see you, bud. So as he's given his speech, he said that he was the most qualified person in the room. 10 Night Shade 13, good evening. What's going on? That he was the most qualified person in the room because he's probably talked to the most Holocaust survivors. This is according to him. And he said he's seeing all the same warning signs with the Trump administration that Nazi Germany did in 1933. So whenever, the right does something they don't like, they instantly like to throw out Nazi. So let's take a look at some of our left-leaning states and see who's really more like Nazis. I would like to focus our attention to the great Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Now, I am not disparaging the Massachusetts State Police. There are some fine officers there. There are some less than happy officers there. I've had both great and terrible interactions with them.
All right, so here we are. Another
What is that?
week.
And
The FBI is
I got some feedback over
Feedback, I see that. I'm going to fix that right now, hopefully. Okay, just mute the camera, Mike.
It's all good. That was the video. So
Speaking of Massachusetts, when you get done, I got to chime in with something.
Okay.
Again, I'm not disparaging the Mass State Police.
I am.
I've had great interactions and I've had terrible interactions, more terrible than anything else. But I'd like to look at their winter uniform. I have pictures. I didn't want to post them up here tonight. I didn't want to give them to you, Fog, because people know how to use Google. But if you use Google or DuckDuckGo, I would encourage you to look up Massachusetts State Police winter uniform. Okay, there you're going to see, the bloomer pants, the high leather boots, the leather strap that goes across the chest, and the hat. Right. Massachusetts State Police has admitted that they modeled their uniform off of the SS officers' uniform from Nazi Germany. This has been a fact. We've known this. If you also look up an SS officer's uniform or Goring or anybody, you will see almost the exact same uniform, same style, high boots, same hat, leather strap, the whole 9 yards. Now, for a state that's so blue, that's so anti-Nazi, you think the first thing somebody would have done was said, hey, Colonel, you might want to update your winter uniform because it doesn't look good, right? But to this day, they're still wearing it. So for our friends on the left, on the other side of the aisle, that like to throw out the word Nazi, I hate to say it, but you're dressing like them. So you might want to look into that. Once you get your clothes changed and you don't mimic what they're doing, then go ahead and start throwing that out. So that's my my little rant about that. But something else popped up this week, which is interesting, since we're back on the whole racial thing, right? It's been reported that if iPhone users use the voice to text feature that say the word racist, that the word Trump pops up, then it clears, and then the word racist pops up. So this has been put out by several people online. I tried it, nothing happened with it. But a user that I follow by the name of Rooted Wings, that is a political commentator, said that she looked into it and she found the original person that posted it was a Southerner, and they said it with a Southern drawl. So she tried it, and when she said the word racist with a Southern drawl, Trump popped up, it disappeared, and then racist popped up. So I tried it. I tried it at 5 o'clock this morning, and I tried it 4 times before we went on the air tonight. And when you say it with a Southern drawl, the word Trump pops up, it disappears, and then the word racist pops up after that. So it appears that our friends in big tech are also still at it, trying to make this administration out to be racist Nazis. It almost never ends with them. And my question is, how can you have a civilized conversation or debate with mentally ill people? I'm still trying to figure that out.
You can't. There's not Alanis Morissette. There's a song, "You Can't Talk to a Psycho Like a Normal Human Being." Yeah, I think that's pretty much sums up that topic.
Yeah, it's of all levels too. All levels of the side of the Democrats, and then our friends in big tech, and of course, as much as they try and turn it around. I mean, what are the chances that if you say that word with a Southern drawl, that Trump and racist don't, those words don't sound alike at all? So why is that happening? It's disgusting.
It is.
And people need to start being adults, and when honest debate stops happening, bad things happen. So
yep, you are correct.
So so that's what I got for right now. We've got a few more other topics to.
Hey, can I jump in?
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Talk about the
absolutely.
Massachusetts State Police.
Seeing as how you brought up the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, I got a text message today from the professor's uncle, my dear brother. Thought you might find this interesting. So I opened it up. And much to my surprise, is a memo from the Maura T. Healy, the governor of Massachusetts, who's also known as Muffy for reasons I won't get into because I'm trying to project a new image here. And the memorandum says clinical vaccination for COVID and influenza, dated January 31st, 2025. So apparently the communists in Massachusetts still requiring certain healthcare workers to get the COVID-19 vaccine and boosters, along with the influenza shot. And like I said, that's dated January 31st. So, and they have a whole website you can go to assist clinics in documenting. So you got to actually document the requirements that are fulfilled. Like COVID vaccine is through us, like VaxX or whatever we used when we first took it. And so I was talking to your uncle, and So if he wants to continue, he's retiring. March 12th is his last day, but he said that if you wanted to continue go work or going on, he'd need to get a new booster. And
Nope.
therein lies your problem, is when you get the boosters. Like my own PCP told me not to get the mRNA flu vaccine because the flu vaccine in and of itself won't hurt you, but the mRNA has a propensity to alter your immune system. So you may not get sick from the flu, but you may get sick from other things.
Yeah.
You know.
I hope he does not. I hope he does not do it.
No, he's retiring. He's all done March 12th. He's going to be a
Yeah.
per diem medic in Plastow. But that being said, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts is still up to their dirty, fiendish games.
Absolutely. And Jeff, you're right. The Democrats project on us what they are actually guilty of. You're 100% right.
Yeah.
You know, it's the I know you are, but what am I syndrome? Like it's ridiculous. Annie, you're right. You can't fix stupid. They are, you know, they're out of control. And it's, you know, how do you have a civilized discussion with these folks? It's just it's difficult, you know. You know, look at the budget bill that was on the House floor that got passed, right? I'm in the process of I'm gonna look at it start to finish because I'm curious. But we had you know, Nancy Pelosi there waving around her, you know, her 3-finger sign, telling us how we're taking food out of the mouths of children, and that we're pulling healthcare away from children, and they're going to starve. Some people, some of her constituents are actually going to believe that. And then what happens? It's a, you know, a play from the last book, right? Get your people out to the street and get them fighting, right? That's what they want.
Well, I don't want to sound heartless, but if they're not my kids, I could care less. As long as my money
let's look at what
as long as my money stays in my pocket, I don't care. As Mr. Potter said in It's a Wonderful Life, not with my money. All right.
well, here's the thing, though. It's not happening, right? We're not taking money away from children. It's not happening. I've had a few heated discussions this week with folks about what we voted for, and I'll say it again. I did vote for this. I voted for Trump. I voted for Elon. I voted for Tulsi. I voted for cash. I want all these things to happen. I want them to rip the government apart right down to the foundations. And if we have to replace the foundations, do it. The Constitution is the greatest document in the history of the world, except for the Bible. The Bible tops it. But next to that, the Constitution is one of the greatest documents ever written. The founding fathers were geniuses, far ahead of their time. We can run this country based off of that document. That's what we need to get back to, period. If you look at what they view us as extreme MAGA, what extreme MAGA cares about, let's just take a look. Protecting the unborn, right? Keep men out of girls' sports. I think that's an easy one. Secure borders, just like every other country does, right? America first, our people first. Defend the Constitution. Stop child mutilation. Stop child trafficking. The Democrats oppose all of this. Every single one of it, they oppose to it. I don't get it. I don't understand. And watching them become more unhinged.
So based on what you just said, why should we wait until the 29th of March to get the list?
Well, the president said for the Epstein list, right? That's what we're talking about, right? So Rep. Anna Paulina Luna went back and kind of went at Pam Bondi on X because she asked for the list and her office didn't respond. The woman is super busy. I get that, right? So then she went to X because she didn't get the answer fast enough. I feel confident that President Trump, when he signed the executive order, he said that we would see the Epstein files within 100 days. I trust him. I can wait the 100 days. I'm okay with that if that's what it takes. But as much as I've liked some of Anna Paulina Luna's work, I think she should pick up the phone and talk to Pam Bondi. I don't think we should start, tearing each other apart out in the open just yet. Me personally, I don't think we're going to get the files that we're looking for. Just like the JFK files, the MLK files, there's not going to be a document from the CIA that says, oh yeah, we killed them. It's okay. No, they're not, right? And if the rumors are true.
So you think Pam Bondi's going to withhold files?
I don't think she's going to withhold files. I don't think she's going to, there's two sides to that.
So
there's some
there's some
indication
files on the JFK assassination the other day where JFK made statements like he knew they were going to kill him because he wasn't conforming to what they wanted him to do.
Mm-hmm. Yep. There's some talk that Epstein was an agent of a foreign government. But I mean, let's face it, unless you live underneath a rock, I mean, Epstein was murdered. I mean, come on. Yeah. He didn't commit suicide. The cameras go out, the lights go out, everything happens. They wake up. Oh, look, what? Something happened. He killed himself. Really? Give me a break. Yeah. Come on. I don't think the CIA is going to give us the documents that we're looking for. And the FBI.
You know why the CIA ain't going to give us the documents that we're looking for? Because they're too busy promoting child sex trafficking on government networks. 100 of them just got exposed. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rather than viewing and publishing child porn, maybe they could be releasing lists. Don't you think?
I would love to see the list. I just can't guarantee the validity of the list that we'd be seeing. Right? I don't trust them. I don't trust their own documentation, and I don't trust the documentation that they're going to be given to us actually means anything. So do I think Pam Bondi's going to release it? Yes. Do I think Trump's going to keep his word? Yes. I was a little skeptical that they appointed a committee for the JFK, MLK stuff. We've had committees. It's been, 70 years. Fucking release the files. Just release the files. But I don't think we're going to find the evidence that we're looking for. If the intelligence agencies had something to do with JFK and MLK's death, I don't think they're going to keep documentation that says they did it. I highly doubt it. Sam Adams touched on this on one of his videos too. The FBI is dumping files like it's cool, as Cash is trying to take control of the organization. We're not going to find the smoking guns that we're looking for. I just don't think they're going to be in there. Unfortunately, we won't know. We won't know the full extent of how deep this goes. Unfortunately.
Hey, let me spring this on you. Do you think that Trey Gowdy would have made a better attorney general than Pam Bondi?
I am a Trey Gowdy fan. I am a Trey Gowdy fan, and I love the way he handled Peter Strzok. I really do. But I am going to give Pam Bondi the benefit of the doubt. I really am.
Same here.
I think she's great at what she does.
I would have preferred Trey. I'm a Trey fan.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But I do want to give her the benefit of the doubt, and keep in mind we're just a month in. That was the other thing Pelosi was saying on the floor.
You do know that she's anti-Second Amendment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not thrilled about that, but at the same time, we have a president that's pushing for, constitutional carry in every state, right? So, he's very pro 2A, and that's what matters to me. I don't think he will let her go against the gun community. Look, he put Kash Patel in charge of the ATF.
Oh, I know, right?
Shut it down.
Yeah.
Shut it down.
Shut it down.
We don't need the ATF.
Yeah, and she's going to do what she's told. She's going to do what Trump
exactly.
told her to do. So I'm not too worried about her. And yeah, she does have some issues with the Second Amendment, but it's stuff like red flag laws, for example. and that's kind of everybody's kind of out. There's varied opinions on that. Some valid, some not so valid. So I'm not sure if I'd actually categorize her as anti-Second Amendment. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, yeah. Again, I want to see. Jeff, you got a good point. Yeah, she's only a month in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's watch her work. Let's see what she does. I thought it was interesting that the president put Cash as acting director of the ATF. I think that's hysterical. I have a feeling, also with his the tweet that he put out that, what's it, by March 13th, all government agencies will be like downsized dramatically.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're gonna see the ATF hit the road, which I'm all for. Get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
There's another bureaucratic agency that was, making legislation, and they're not
Right.
elected. Get the hell out of here. You have nothing to do.
Just for the record, I went.
Be infringed.
Just for
Shall
the
not be
record,
infringed.
a month ago, I went head to head with the guy that was the former assistant director, Chet's friend of the
Who's?
ATF. Chet was having a good laugh over it.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Shall not
Yeah,
be
the
infringed.
ATF,
Period.
the ATF sucks. They got they're nothing more than they're nothing more than a regulatory agency that promulgate regulations, and then they go out and arrest you and charge you criminally on regulations that aren't even laws.
Oh, what? Wait a minute. What law enforcement did that? What law enforcement agency did that before? The Gestapo. Thank you.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Same
the
thing they
ATF
like to
now.
accuse us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're. I would love to see it. It's wishful thinking. Hopefully, that agency's gone. We don't need it. Cash has a good point. FBI or cops, go be cops. As much as I would love to see the FBI gone, they can take in a lot of what the ATF was doing.
I'm going to play devil's advocate there for just a second. I don't know. I've over the years I've worked with a lot of ATF guys, and like with all these other agencies, the boots on the ground folks are actually some pretty good people. There's a lot of experience in there within very specific areas of investigations. That let's face it. I mean, the FBI for the most part is they hire a bunch of accountants and lawyers and engineers and scientists and doctors and shit. The ATF guys are the ones that are out in the blood and the beer and the mud and rolling around and that kind of stuff. So I would like to see those two agencies meld together. Some of the best explosive experts in the world work for ATF. That's kind of like it's BAT. It's Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. So I don't want to see them just go away. But if it's done properly, they'll bring the good guys in both agencies. There's a lot of people that shouldn't in both agencies that shouldn't be there. There's a lot of administrators and a lot of folks that they're there because they have a college degree. So we'll see what happens. But like we said so many times, they're a month into this whole thing. There's been more shit that has happened in the Trump administration in the last 30 days than the last 5 administrations in 4+ years each. So let's run with it and see what happens.
Hey, can I make a point?
Sure.
So I got a fine taste. I got a fine palate for Crown Royal blackberry flavored alcohol. Okay, whiskey. I got a fine palate for Cuban cigars. I own many guns, and I'm very proficient with them. And I am certified explosive ordnance disposal. So, would I make a good ATF guy?
No.
Wow, that was fast.
No, Crown Royal. I mean, come on, no, I was kidding. Yeah, you would actually. Actually, you would.
I'm an expert on all of the topics that you just covered.
Right. Yeah. And there's a lot of your background, your history. I mean, you're not. You're a lawyer, but you don't.
I was already being sarcastic.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you're an actual real lawyer. You don't just play one on TV.
ATF. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
When I can walk into a gun store and walk out with a silencer in my pocket, then I'll know for sure that they're over and done with.
Oh, I agree, and that's not. Yeah, like as you said, Professor. Some of these agencies legislate. You can't be doing that shit.
No,
That's
and
not
that,
their
that's
Classic
that, that's my
example.
biggest.
EPA. They're only a regulatory agency. They got no statutory authority at all.
Right. But yet, heaven forbid, if you reroute some water on your property, to
That's
kill some kind
rainwater in
of
a barrel. They'll raid
exactly,
your house at 6 a.m. with M16s.
exactly. Heaven forbid you kill a bug or something. That
Yeah.
Well, specialist, let me ask you this: motor vehicle accident on the side of the roadway, oil, gasoline goes into the drainage ditch. What are we supposed to do? And how long you on scene for?
So there's a minimum amount, 5 gallons.
Mhm.
If it's under that, get in your truck and drive away.
So it was always 4 gallons, right?
yeah,
5
Always
gallons.
4 gallons.
a tanker
Yeah.
truck,
Yeah.
4 gallons.
But now if
Yeah.
it's a tanker
Otherwise,
truck,
you're there all night.
now it's a different story. But you know what? I'm not a tree hugger. So I could give a Taco Bell soft poop less, It is what it is. What it is. That's what they got insurance for.
I understand that we have to have some regulations, or else
Well, yeah.
we would destroy everything around us. But some of the things the EPA does is out of there. But getting back to your point, Fogg, I know that there are some good men and women that work there, and the expertise is probably second to none. That I understand.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that worries me about just being a civilian, an American taxpayer, is knowing some of the folks I know that work in government, to keep their paycheck, they're going to do what they're told. They're going to step to whatever marching orders handed to them. And the reason I say abolish the ATF is I know most of the folks, if they were told to confiscate firearms, they would do it. Yeah. And I get it. You're going to try and feed your family. I understand. But now a real constitutional crisis happens. And not for nothing, if the government kicks your door in and you try and defend yourself, we all know, everybody that's listening and everybody that's on this show right now knows that if a citizen defends themselves against the government, it doesn't matter what happens. They are not walking out alive. Right. They're not doing it. Right. We've seen Ruby Ridge. We've seen these things, right? And look at how the training's done. Of all the training courses I've taken,
what does the Constitution say you have the right to do?
Keep and bear arms.
You have the right to bear arms.
For
shall not be infringed.
For the purpose of
safety and security.
Protecting yourself against who? The government.
All enemies, foreign and domestic.
And the government when they become tyrants.
Exactly. The problem is the paper gets tossed out the window constantly, right? And that's why I had said a long time ago when we had a show with you guys when I was popping on.
That woman was murdered. That woman at Ruby Ridge. You brought it up. I got a pound on it. Like a mackerel. I got to pound it. That woman at Ruby Ridge was murdered by the FBI. Lavoy Finicum was murdered by the FBI. Mm-hmm. All over rights to grazing their cattle on land that they've been in their family for hundreds of years. Mm-hmm. Even though it was owned by BLM, they still made an issue out of it. And when Finicum resisted, we have a resident right here in New Hampshire. I'm friends with him, Jerry DeLemus. He did like 64 months in a federal prison because he went out there and he engaged the BLM with Finicum and his group. Finicum was killed by the FBI in a shootout on the side of the road. Yeah. So, you know what? You're 100% right. You're right on with everything you brought up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the shitty part. Now, I'm not advocating for people to start fighting the government. I'm not saying that, but I'm just bringing up the point of if the government decides they want to come in and completely ruin and or take your life, they can do it. And then what? It's up to them to investigate themselves.
They already did it to me. I'm bringing it up at the end of the show in a training session.
Right. So you know, at some point something's got to give. That's why when, you know, somebody says to me, did you vote for this? 100%. Tear it down, build it back up, right?
Yep.
Let's build it back the way it should have been.
Yep.
So that's how I feel about that.
Yep. All right, fellas. Before we go any further, we're at 30 minutes, so let's take a 5-minute break. We will be back. We will be back in 5, folks. So don't go away. You are with I-12 GIA, Real Talk with Real People. And let's see if I can get into the right screen here. That's going to allow me to do that. Where did it go? There it is. Okay. Nope. Sorry,
We're going to
folks.
listen to Frank Sinatra while we're on break.
Yeah, go ahead. Sounds like a plan. Okay, folks. I think looks like we got part of us back here anyway. Yeah, all right. I'm not sure where where the hell does that thing come from? Not sure where the professor went, but why is his strange. All right, anyway, welcome back to I12GIA, the voice of experience. And thanks for sticking around with us. If you like what you hear tonight, go over to YouTube and hit the like and subscribe button. We would appreciate it, most definitely. Well, I guess we lost the professor. Did he disappear on us there, buddy?
I don't know.
Strange. There's something else going on here, too, that I'm not real sure about. Let's fix that also. There we go. Okay. Is that better? Yeah. So it's got the two of us. He's not in the stack here. Huh. Maybe he got scared or disgusted and just quit. So you want to go ahead with your stuff there, specialist?
Yeah, I'm gonna hop on the same thing that I hopped on every week.
Okay.
Being Jewish.
Okay.
Gaza.
Okay.
So I think it's atrocious what happened this last weekend.
Okay.
I think it's atrocious what happened last weekend, where they had the bodies of the two babies, and they had little monkeys dancing around on top of the caskets with M4s and whatever, with Palestinian flags draped on them. Then they turned them over to the Israelis. Now, they didn't even send the mother back initially. They just had some Palestinian body in another casket. Anyway, we got the mother back. But it's just disturbing that these people are not even human beings, okay? They need to be wiped from the face of the earth. There's no justification for their existence whatsoever. In my book, anyway.
Okay.
And this is far from over. You know, supposedly tonight we're getting 4 dead hostages back. You know, but if you do the math, at some point you gotta assume, but you gotta take what they call assumable risk. That's where you gotta assume that you're gonna have so many casualties in an incident. You got to take assumable risk. So if they get 4 dead ones back tonight, according to my mathematics, that puts it about 51 or 52. And you got to assume that at least 30 of those people are dead. So
Yeah.
I say yes it, and let's just call it a day, and let's just wipe the whole place down. Like just turn it into a pile of glass, get the bulldozers in there, and turn it into another Mar-a-Lago.
You saw Trump's video on that, did you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, that was. I love him. He's the ultimate troll.
Yeah, definitely. All right, fellas. Well, I want to try something a little different if you guys are amenable to this. I want to do a lightning. Oh, by the way, before we go any further, you might be crowned royal, but I'm more of a Jack Daniels guy. And Jack Daniels right now is $49 a fifth. What the hell is up with that?
So I got a smoking thing too, so I can smoke it for you.
Okay, that sounds like a plan. All right. So anyway, what I want to do is a little lightning round thing here. I'm going to go to Twitter here real quick if I can get this organized.
Real quick, during the break, my beautiful wife Thank you for sending me this. Apparently, Pam Bondi said the Epstein files will be released tomorrow.
Nice. Okay. Excellent.
Whoa!
All right. Good. We shall see.
I still want to see. I still want Trey Gowdy.
Okay. Anyway, as I was saying, we're going to do this lightning round thing. So I'm going to go through Twitter and I'm going to hit a subject, and then I'm going to go to each of you guys and get
All right.
your one short comment on that subject.
Yep.
Okay? So we're going to start out with a headline for the New York Times from some guy named Just Loki, which says "You period voted period for period this." Trump's new deputy FBI director has it out for the scumbag commie libs. Professor?
Yes, I did vote for that. Yes.
Okay. What do you think of scumbag commie libs there, specialist?
Death to them all.
We'll all let God sort them out. Okay, next up on our list is these fired federal USAID workers staged a sit-in at the U.S. Capitol. I planned on staying at USAID for as long as I could, and now I don't know what to do. What is your message to them, Professor?
Indeed.com.
Specialist?
Sympathy is in the dictionary between shit and syphilis.
Okay. Every FBI agent involved in the Mar-a-Lago raid has been fired and had their pension stripped. It was a volunteer task force. They knew what they were doing. Specialist or professor? Either one. What do you think? Did they know what they were doing?
They 100% knew. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. Yep. Adios, amigos.
See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. All right. Breaking. Students and facilities of Columbia University have taken over a building while chanting "Globalize the Intifada" and shutting down classes. Columbia needs to decide whether it's an academic institution or a bastion of extremism and violence. Professor.
We will start with beanbag rounds and then go up from there.
Okay. Specialist.
I say we find a crazy Blackhawk pilot like the one that blew that American Airlines jet out of the sky over the Potomac and have her launch a few sidewinders into those buildings.
Okay, my personal thought on this is that any university, any institution of higher learning that receives federal funds and participates in this kind of bullshit needs to have it canceled immediately.
Yep.
Okay, breaking news from Donald Trump, Daily News. Okay, Mark Zuckerberg wants an active role in President Trump's tech policies. Should Trump consider, Professor?
Absolutely not. If I would tell him, I'd say, "You're fired. Thank you. Goodbye. No, thank you." Keep
Yep.
Zuckerberg out of it.
Yep.
Too little, too late, brother.
You got it, Specialist.
No, Zuckerberg should not be anywhere near D.C. I got two sanctions today from Facebook. No, against him.
Okay, and we're going to finish this our lightning round off with from Winter Politics on X from AOC. Elon Musk is not a scientist. He is not an engineer. He is a billionaire con man with a lot of money. What do you? So let's say you to AOC there, Professor.
Well, let's see. Elon actually shot for the space and he got there, unlike AOC, who does shots from the bar. Go back to bartending, sweetie pie.
Nice. Specialist.
Say we put a halter on it with a set of reins, mount it with a set of spurs, and take it for a ride.
Yeehaw. Okay. All right. Well, that was fun. What did you guys think of that? Something a little different, I thought. Just,
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Trying to make sure we stay with our entertaining function of, because we are here to educate and entertain. Speaking of educating, Specialist, you are up next.
Oh, man, it's my hour. Okay.
It's your 14 minutes.
All right. So I want to educate all our listeners tonight on your constitutional rights, being an expert that I am. So the Fifth Amendment says that of the Constitution protects you and your right to remain silent. Okay? Keep your mouth shut. There's no reason you got to talk to anybody. And so the reason I'm doing this tutorial tonight is, so I had to reapply for my security clearance because I had a job with the U.S. Marshal Service, and I was required to have a security clearance. So the other day I get a call from an FBI agent who says to me, something in your background popped. And do you have a computer with a camera? I said, yeah. He said, I'm going to send you a link so you can sign on to it. He goes, we need to get you on video and we need to get you under oath and ask you some questions. And so I goes, what do you plan on asking me? He goes, well, we're not telling you until we put you under oath. And I go, well, you're not putting me under oath, and we're not having any yinsing conversation about my background because I was cleared, you know? So there was only one or two things that it could have been because, like, my credit's excellent. I don't have a gambling problem. I'm not an alcoholic. Those are all things that they look for that could compromise you. So there were only one or two things it could have been. Me being Jewish or my son-in-law's parents being foreign nationals. So I get a phone call this morning, and it was disclosed to me that they were looking at me because I'm Jewish and my alliance to the Mossad. So that being said, I found an article online about an Jewish Australian soldier who just lost his security clearance because he's Jewish. Not that he professed any alliance to Mossad or anything else. They just thought he would be. So my advice to everybody out in Radio Land listening to us, you have no obligation to speak to the police. There's nothing that aggravates me more than somebody posting a video saying this guy is an asshole because he'll only roll down his window this much and hand out his paperwork. And when the cop says, roll down your window, I want to talk to you, he goes, no, I ain't going to roll down my window. I can talk to you fine. I just gave you my license and registration. And so I think that's fine. You're under no obligation to talk to anybody. And I certainly wasn't going to sign on to a number they gave me where they could get me on video and swear me in and put me under oath and get me to say something. And then 20 minutes later, I'm in fucking I'm in handcuffs going to the Hooskow, for lying to the FBI, So don't talk to them. Don't let them near you. Jeff don't let them near your house. Don't let anybody.
Jeff got some good ones. AOC could serve drinks at Gitmo. I was dying. That's why I had to grab the camera. That was fantastic, Jeff. Thank you. That was great.
That's my free advice to you people out there in Radio Land tonight. Fifth Amendment guarantees you the right to remain silent. I suggest anytime you have any interaction with any type of law enforcement in an official capacity, you exercise that fucking right and keep your fucking pie hole shut.
Yep, they'll stare at you. There's an investigations tactic that a lot of them use where if you stare at somebody, usually for 8 seconds, people will just start talking. They feel the need to, right? No. I do this to people all the time, and they just they'll spill their guts to you, right? It doesn't matter what they try. Keep your mouth shut, right? Yep. Don't open the door. You can talk through a window, right? The officers like to use the old foot in the door jam thing, so you can't close it. That's legal, right? So, protect yourself.
No, then you can shoot them in the foot.
No, you can't.
No, you can't.
No, you can't.
Jesus, you're determined to get us kicked off of YouTube again, aren't you?
They can't put. Jeff, I carry a copy of the Constitution in my bag. They can't put their foot in your door and stop you from closing it.
Yes, they can.
No, they can't.
You definitely can't shoot them in the foot if they do.
Yeah, no, you
No.
can't. It was
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah.
On
No.
what basis can they put their foot in your door and stop you from closing your door?
If they're conducting an investigation. Now, it's a fishing expedition, but I just watched a thing from Hampton Law where a guy was arrested for it. He opened the door when the officers were there. He started to get uncomfortable with the questioning the officers were asking, right? So when he was like, hey, this is over, and they shut the door, the officers put their foot in the door, stopped it, and now they believe a crime is being committed. After the gentleman had answered some of their questions, they went ahead and did the seizure. If he didn't open the door, they wouldn't have had the probable cause to go ahead and arrest him. So,
Interesting.
yeah.
Oh, well, they come on your property without a warrant. They're trespassing, right?
Yes. That's why you don't even have to answer the door. You know? So there's plenty of stuff that you can look up on YouTube about that.
If they call you on the phone, you don't have to answer your phone either.
Nope, not at all. So, but that's why, honestly, for my self-defense, I got rid of the liability insurance. I actually got attorneys on retainer. If there's ever a self-defense issue, especially, I'm not going to say where I am, but I'm in a state that would definitely prosecute me if I defended myself. So, I have that, and they tell you the same thing. Call 911. You make your statements.
You do know you have 72 rights. Yeah, you have 72 hours before you have to make a statement, right?
Yeah, the good part about it is they say don't say anything at all. Just report that you need police and EMS, and then say nothing until the attorney gets.
Because you have to decompress, you have to process everything. So you got 72 hours before you got to make a statement to the police.
Yep. Scary world.
Yes, it is. I think, man, after listening to you fellas up north there, you damn Yankees, I thank God every day that I live in the free state of Florida.
God bless you.
What,
yeah, it's not good.
It is such a different world down here.
So, hey, speaking of Florida, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So, you're not gonna. Your world is not gonna be all. How do I say it? Perfume and roses, because Byron Donalds announced today he's running against Ron DeSantis' wife. How do you think this whole thing's going to pan out for you?
Let's see, Byron Donalds. Which one is he?
Congressman.
Yeah, but what does he do? I mean, what's his story?
He's running for governor.
Okay, but I mean, is he?
He's backed by Donald J. Trump.
No, okay. Why is that going to be any different than Ron DeSantis' wife?
Because they're running against each other. How do you think that's going to pan out?
I don't know. That's interesting. That's an interesting concept because she's I don't know. Well, Florida is such a, I don't know, there's such a dichotomy here anyway, because you have Miami, which is pretty much Cuba and Haiti and South America, and then you have this, the villages, which is a bunch of old New Yorkers and stuff.
Hi, buddy. How are you?
And then you have the normal people in Florida, and then you have Orlando, the House of Mouse in Orlando. So you never know where they're going to go. I don't know. We'll just have to kind of see, I mean, I'm not worried about it either way. Either one of them, I think, would do okay as long as it's a Democrat, not some of the other options, or a Republican. I mean.
Hey, can I just throw something out there?
Sure.
Yeah.
5 things. All right. So, truck maintenance. I replaced a carburetor in a small engine. Drove 200 miles for work. Moved some construction equipment and prepped for a podcast on the show. That's 5 things I did this week. That's 5 things I did this week, and it's only Wednesday. So any federal employee that says they can't do it or they feel they're being targeted can pound sand because, I've worked in business. I had a director that used to do that once a quarter. He would say, pick 2 days out of the week and tell me everything you did from the time you clocked in to the time you left. Mm-hmm. And then he would, once a year, he would say, I want you to document everything that you do here. Mm-hmm. And then he would do that to random employees. Hey, tell me 3 things you did during your shift.
Mhm.
It's real easy. It's absolutely easy. So people freaking out over this, and the Democrats saying that it's wrong. This is what I did. That's 5 things by Wednesday. So
All right. So I'm gonna tell the Democrats things I did today. I got up this morning,
Don't say it.
fed my horse, had 2 good shits, 3 cups
Yeah,
of
and he said it.
coffee, went to the dump, went to the doctors, went to the market, went and picked up 2 prescriptions, fed my horse, prepped for the podcast. I can do all that in one day. And
Yeah,
you
makes
got a
sense
million
to me.
plus people that can't send an email in 5 things they did in 1 week.
that's it. And if you're working 5 days, if you're working a 5-day work week, that's 1 thing a day. I'll
Yeah.
even give you one. You showed up. Okay, there's
Yeah,
1.
There's
You
one.
took
There's a-
lunch.
yeah,
You
there's
took
a
lunch.
freebie.
There's 2.
Yeah.
You used the bathroom. There's 3.
Yeah.
So can you just give me 2 things that you
Woo.
did?
Yeah.
well, hell,
Yeah.
90% of them didn't even show up to work anyway. You know, they're still
Yeah.
trying to run on COVID time and all that other nonsense. So,
Well, I
Yeah.
do believe there's a
Just
lot
a
of double dipping
surprise.
going on.
Well, yeah, you think?
Oh,
You know?
yeah.
So
I mean, at least show up for work. That's probably, yeah, like you said, at least show up. That's one thing right there.
that's it.
All right, fellas. Well, we're down to the last 4 minutes here. It's been another usual, as interesting show as usual. Kind of weird tonight, though. But I don't know. What do you think? What do you think of the asteroid? Is the asteroid going to hit us and destroy the planet?
I hope it does.
Yeah,
I am so ready to pull the ripcord.
I know, man. Come on, asteroid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it looks like he's going to be Mumbai or Bogota, I guess, are the 2 cities that are going to hit the hardest, apparently, or the most damage to either one
I'll
of them.
go there.
Well, you know what's funny is Rosie O'Donnell. I mean Michael Moore. Sorry. They said that one of these illegal aliens that were deported could have cured cancer or saved us from the asteroid.
Right, right. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So I think our savior is somewhere on a C-17 headed down to Colombia somewhere.
Probably. Oh man, that's going to be another show for like later on. Is apparently they're the dumbass president. Well, he's a Joe Biden light that they have down there right now. Is starting to understand why when they canceled all the U.S. aid and as far as fighting drug wars goes down there, they're having some serious problems since we pulled out, and it's starting to catch up to them. So it's going to see how that plays out too. But
That's a story with a lot of lies.
isn't it?
We've
Should have pulled out that didn't pull out.
Hey, what do you guys think of the that poor rancher that hit that IED
Oh,
from
yeah.
the cartel?
Yeah. Oops. Yep. The wrong side of the border, wrong place, wrong time.
What
Yeah,
happened?
Bueno.
He was a rancher in Texas, Brownsville, I guess, and he kind of
Yep.
crossed back and forth. That's the border is basically a barbed wire fence. So he drove off on the Mexican side of the border, like a roadway away, and hit an IED and it killed him. They've got IEDs planted all along the border right there.
Wow.
The cartels do. So yeah. Well, we kind of knew that was coming. All right, fellas, we got. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. Professor, you want to take us out with your goodbyes?
Absolutely. Jeff, Annie, Amanda, Sam, thank you for showing up. Love talking to you guys. Stay safe. Get some training. Proper planning prevents poor performance. We're still in the winter months, right? So little things here. You're going to take a trip. Pack some extra supplies in your car. I have to travel for work, and there are times that I get sent up to an area that I lose cell service. So, I make sure I pack some gear in there, just enough to carry you over, right? Proper planning prevents poor performance. God bless the USA. God bless Israel. Happy to be here, guys. Miss Nomad.
Yeah, definitely. All right, specialist.
Thank you, Jeff. Annie, my beautiful daughter-in-law, Amanda. Let's see. Where did he go?
Where'd he go?
Sam's there somewhere.
Sam Adams. Thank you, all you guys, for showing up. It's been a great show. God bless the U.S. God bless Israel. The innocent Israeli victims of this senseless October 7th. And prepare to self-rescue. Nobody's coming for you. We're on our own.
Yeah.
I've said it once, and I'll say it again.
Yep. Okay, folks. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap up another scintillating edition of I-12GIA Real Talk, the voice of experience. Thanks for sticking around with us tonight. Hopefully, we managed to entertain and educate as we always do. I'd like to thank our sponsors, I-12GIA and Peace of Mind Training. Hopefully, we'll be seeing a little bit more of them here as the time goes on. If you enjoyed our show tonight, please go to YouTube and like and subscribe. That's kind of what keeps us going here. And on that happy note, give the ones you love a big hug and keep them close. As the specialist said, prepare to self-rescue because ain't nobody coming to get you. And keep your heads on a swivel, folks. We're just getting started with this ride. It ain't going to get any easier. So good night, and we will see you